Welcome back, everyone. And what an absolutely packed update we have for you today. Whether you are here for the football news or the construction updates or both, you are in the right place, because today we have got a lot to get through. From a massive Champions League draw that has got every single Barça fan buzzing with excitement, to some very important news about next season and what it means for the Camp Nou timeline, and of course a detailed look at everything happening right now on the construction site itself. There is genuinely so much to cover today, so let's not waste another second. Let's get into it. Right, let's start with the news that has been on everybody's lips since the draw was made. Barcelona have been drawn against Newcastle United in the round of 16 of the Champions League. And honestly, when you look at this draw, there is so much to be excited about as a Barça fan. The format of the tie means that the first leg will be played away at St. James's Park in Newcastle. Now, St. James's Park is one of the most atmospheric and passionate football grounds in all of England, and there is absolutely no doubt that Newcastle's fans will make it a very loud and very intense evening. It is going to be a real test, and that first leg away from home will be crucial in setting the tone for the entire tie. Now, before we dive into the construction updates, there is a very important piece of news that has come through that every single Barcelona fan needs to be aware of, because some of you may not have heard about this yet, and others who have heard it are understandably feeling a little frustrated. The confirmation has come through that Barcelona will need to return to Montjuïc for a number of matches at the start of next season. And yes, I know for many fans that is not the news they were hoping to hear. A lot of supporters had been counting down the days until the Camp Nou renovation is fully complete and the team can settle back at their permanent home for good. And now hearing that there will be more matches at Montjuïc at the beginning of next season might feel like a setback. I completely understand that reaction. But here is the thing, and I really want you to listen to this carefully. This news is actually necessary, and in a strange way, it is also reassuring. Let me explain why. The reason the club will need to vacate the Camp Nou for a period at the start of next season is because of the roof installation. Now, the roof of the new Camp Nou is not just a regular roof. This is a massive, enormous engineering feat of a structure. The scale of it is hard to fully comprehend until you see it up close. And in order for the workers to install it properly, consistently, and safely, the entire stadium will need to be empty. Not just partially empty, fully empty. The roof installation requires that level of space and freedom of operation, and trying to carry out that kind of work while matches are being played simply would not be safe or practical. So the temporary return to Montjuïc is a necessary part of getting the Camp Nou renovation across the finish line properly. And here is the part that I find genuinely reassuring. This news actually tells us something very important. It tells us that the club is on schedule. Think about it. If the club is already planning and announcing the roof installation timeline, if they are already coordinating the logistics of temporarily moving matches to accommodate that specific phase of the work, it means the project is progressing in a way that is structured, organized, and on course. For all those fans who have had doubts about whether the Camp Nou renovation will actually be completed within the timeline that has been promised, and I know there are many of you out there with those doubts, and honestly, those doubts are understandable. This news should provide some real comfort. The club is on track. The plan is being executed. And the roof, which is one of the most defining and transformational elements of the entire project, is coming. Patience is still required, but the end is genuinely in sight. Right, now let's get into the construction site itself, and there is plenty to talk about. Starting at ground level, and this is an area that has seen some very intense activity in recent days. The works happening at the parking lot area have been particularly notable, with excavation works clearly visible and ongoing. The digging and clearing at that ground level is all part of the broader infrastructure development that needs to happen before the finishing touches above ground can truly come together. And looking along the sidelines at ground level as well, there is more evidence of careful and deliberate progress. The pipelines in that area have been properly adjusted and positioned, and you can clearly see the care that has gone into laying them out correctly. Pipeline infrastructure at this level is a foundational element of how the entire stadium will function on match days and every day in between, from drainage to utilities to services running throughout the building. Getting this right at ground level is essential, and from what we can see, the teams working down there are doing exactly that. Moving up now to the goal north section, and this continues to be one of the most visually interesting parts of the construction site to follow right now. Recent weeks have seen the installation of new windows in that area, and those windows are looking great. But here is the interesting detail: the workers are currently covering those newly installed windows with protective films. And when you understand why, it makes complete sense. As we have discussed in previous updates, the painting of the facade is a process that has been gradually working its way around the stadium, and it is now getting very close to reaching the goal north section. So, in order to protect those freshly installed windows and panels from any paint or residue during the facade painting process, the teams are proactively applying protective films to them. It is a smart, forward-thinking approach that is designed to speed up the overall process. By protecting the windows now, they avoid having to do extensive cleaning or repairs later, which means the whole workflow moves faster and more efficiently. It is one of those details that you might easily overlook, but it tells you a lot about how organized and methodical the teams on this project are. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting visual developments happening across the entire stadium right now, and that is the sandwich panel installation. Because this is no longer something that is limited to just one or two sections of the ground, the sandwich panel installation is advancing across multiple areas simultaneously, and the transformation it is bringing to the appearance of the stadium is remarkable. Looking at the elevator sections around the stadium, the sandwich panel installation there is really advancing and coming together beautifully. But what is particularly fascinating is what we can observe at the sideline zone. In that area, if you look carefully at the panels that have already been installed, you can see that a metal structure, almost like a mini cantilever, is being placed around them. And that detail is hugely significant. That kind of metal structure being added around the panels is a strong visual indicator of just how advanced these installations are becoming. It is not just about putting the panels up, it is about the full structural integration of those panels into the building's overall framework. The fact that we are seeing that level of detail and complexity in the installation process tells you that this work is heading into its more mature and advanced phases. And when you look at how much of the stadium is now experiencing this transformation at the same time, it is genuinely one of the most exciting things to observe on the construction site right now. And finally, let's round out today's construction update with a look at the grandstand area, which continues to be a section of the site that delivers new and exciting developments on an almost daily basis. We have talked about the grandstand a lot in recent updates, and there is always something new to add, and today is no exception. Recently, metal sheets were spotted being installed at the facade sections of the grandstand, which in itself was a notable step forward in the finishing of that part of the stadium's exterior. But now, moving beyond that, new pieces of materials have been seen being lifted up to the first overhang level of the grandstand. The first overhang level is a prominent and visually impactful part of the grandstand structure, and seeing materials being hoisted up to that level indicates that the works there are climbing higher and moving into new territory. Progress at the grandstand is really advancing, and I want to say this clearly: in just a few weeks' time, you are going to see the transformation of the grandstand area in a much more complete and dramatic way than you can right now. The pieces are coming together, the materials are going in, the workers are pushing forward every single day, and the result is going to be stunning. The grandstand of the new Camp Nou is going to be one of the most impressive features of the finished stadium, and right now we are watching it take shape in real time. It is a privilege to follow, and I cannot wait to share the next set of updates with you. So there you have it, a huge update today covering everything from the Champions League draw to the Montjuïc news to every major section of the construction site. As always, the Camp Nou story is one that keeps on giving, and every single week there is more reason to be excited about what is coming. Make sure you are subscribed, make sure your notifications are on, and we will see you very soon in the next one. Visca el Barça always.